Hello, everybody, and welcome back to MJ Games. I am Michael, and today we're looking at a park that came out a couple months ago. And I was planning on doing this with a PC creator, but it just never came to fruition. But this is called High Peak Resort, and it is created by TomDavePointon. This is the second park that I have spotlighted of this creator, so I will make sure to link the other one in the description below. As you can see, it's a very nature themed park. So it says, situated deep in the heart of the misty mountains, High Peak Resort is a real escape from modern life. The only way to get to the park is by train from the nearby city or a hike or cableway ride from the parking garage. Fully lit, so view day and night. So as you can see, we've got some kind of cinematic shots of some of the coasters and just kind of the surrounding area. And this park does take up the full map, but it's because there's so much nature involved in it. And I'm really excited to kind of take a look and take a tour of this with you guys. And as I said, I was planning on doing this spotlight with somebody else, but never came to fruition, which means all of these camera shots are pre-recorded instead of me recording this as I'm going along, since this is on the PlayStation 4. But as we can see, we got a little parking garage here, and it's one of the few parking garages I've seen made in console. So it's pretty cool to see some of that. It's pretty basic, nothing too crazy about it. Definitely needs more railings and stuff. But the idea is there to have, you come to this parking garage, you park here, and then you take the cable lift or train or walk around to the actual park. But I like the fact how it's pretty detailed in terms of having that area with the door, which in theory you'd have the elevator there or the stairs. And then we've got this, I think this is a resort right here, maybe a hotel. But it's just kind of really situated in the woods, and it just feels really, really cool. Oh, it's a lodge and spa. Yeah, that would make sense. But really well done. Maybe a little bit more train paint, but there is a fair amount of train paint. As you can see, it's just a heavily wooded area. So it's supposed to be kind of secluded off in these woods, and just really, really well done. And then you can see in the very back there's a theme park. So I love seeing and spotlighting these really creative ways that people come up with for their theme park or trying to make something different, you know. So this is a really cool concept and idea. So we've seen other creators have kind of, kind of whether it's beach areas or camping areas, but I haven't seen one yet that's situated like this, where the park is at the back, all this nature stuff is in the front. So it looks really, really good. Which, speaking of this, I'm ready to see Iron Maddie's series get back going, right? For those of you that watch it, because this is what this is kind of reminding me of in a way, is kind of having that nature aspect of it as along with the theme park. So now we're in flip cam mode walking around. So it's called High Peaks Resort. And there's the cable lift. Really cool kind of building. I like the blue kind of trim there to kind of give it a little bit of detail. And so we got the lodge and spa. Yeah, this is a really, really nice lodge. I don't think there's anything inside in terms of what we can do. Yeah, it's just some food, staff building, stuff like that. But really cool look. You got a bus there. Only question is, how did the bus get there? If there's no road to get down here, how did the bus get down there? But this is just really cool. You got the train track going around. Same thing with these cars. How did these cars get down here? But then I love hopefully I pan a little bit to the left, but using the weeds there to kind of make it look like it's kind of leafy, overgrown stuff. But so that's a really good job to make it look natural. And as we can see at nighttime, the lodge is really well lit up. And then you got these lights going all the way on the path, so that's nice to add some lighting for the guests. And you've also used the train paint a lot here, making it look like the grass is a little bit more worn down. Not too worn, but still worn down. So now we're actually heading to the theme park. Which, while we're walking on this right now, I'd love to hear from you guys. Are any of y'all traveling to any theme parks this summer? Any coasters you're going to get to ride that you maybe haven't ridden yet that are on your bucket list? I'm hoping to make a couple trips. I think Jasmine and I are going to Dollywood in May, so a couple weeks after this is out, or maybe even a week or so, depending on when this is scheduled to be released. But that's a really cool building right there. Love the detail. And then you can see the Intamin coaster in the background. Love it. Um, and then I might be going to Six Flags Great America. Um, Definitely going to, or looking to possibly go to Kings Island and Cedar Point as well. And I feel like there's one more that I was going to with Jasmine. Or am I just blanking? I might be blanking on that, but I feel like there's another park that I was going to. Um, yeah, so where are you guys going this summer? And I like how that's, well, I said intimate. Maybe it's considered a Mac coaster since it's got that inversion, technically. But really, really cool look as you kind of start to enter the park. Man, I'm just thinking about where else did I think I was going? Because I thought I had another park in mind that I was going to. Maybe not, though. Now I can't think properly. We got a little skyway there, so that's nice. And so this is the main kind of entrance plaza area. And so you can see it's still really themed around the woods and stuff. You got the High Peaks Express, so really, really nice and detailed there. And then we got kind of is that a food building or something before you enter the park? And then all of a sudden we enter the park and got some marshmallows. I love this little backstage. Ooh, I gotta see that door again. What door was that? Oh, it looked like the barn doors. That's nice. I need to look at using that in my park some. Ooh, I love the detail of the ceiling. Oh, that's nice. To add just a little bit of a more detailed look. And then I love that view of that RMC going up the hill right there. That is absolutely beautiful. Like, what a picturesque scene as you enter the park. It kind of reminds me in a way of like seeing when you see Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City. So it's got that kind of look to it where you all of a sudden look over and it's like, oh my. It's a nice little flat ride, and you've got the, oh, I haven't seen that before. Is that the iron girder piece as part of a railing? Interesting. Called Rodeo. I like the detail here of having that little pergola awning. Looks nice. And once again, really cool station, really cool view. Called Mountain Express. Oh, you know what? I just realized where we're going to be going. We're going to be going to Carowinds. That's it. How did I forget that? So I could ride Fury 325. So after 4th of July, I got some family that lives in South Carolina. So sometimes we go there for 4th of July. And they're like 2 hours away from Carowinds. So going to go hit up Carowinds and then visit Charleston. So it'll be a fun little trip. So now as we are going up the chain on this coaster, make sure to hit the subscribe button, everybody, and hit the like button. And make sure to click on the other link below as TJ Puffs joined me for the spotlight of this creator's other park, which I'm blanking off the top of my head what it was, but it's really, really well done. Also had an RMC in it, had an inverted coaster, and was really well done. All right, so there was, man, I always seem to forget the names once we ride those coasters. but Mountain Express. And I think it's a pretty cool concept and idea. I think the only thing I would change is that I feel like it's not that intense of a coaster, as you can see me kind of looking at the stats, because there's not really a big hill. So it's kind of a little bit deceiving in that aspect. Now, it does have a cool kind of little double down. Um, but it also almost gives me like you almost got some inspiration from like Nemesis, even though that's obviously a totally different coaster, but it just kind of is off in the woods here at first. And so it's still a really cool concept and idea. It would be a fun coaster to ride. I just would like to see whether that's a couple inversions, maybe a little bit bigger hill, something like that. But either way, like, I mean, still really cool. I mean, really smooth. Really enjoyed that coaster. These sight lines are awesome, as we can kind of see up here. And I don't know what I was trying to do there with the camera. I don't know if I was trying to look at night or what. But as we can see, another coaster right there. So I believe there are 4 coasters in this park. And then we got one of those. Gosh, I always forget the name of those. That it's not a drop tower, but the power tower thing, whatever it's called. And I like the detail here around the lake. I think that's really cool. I love seeing the different stuff that people create to kind of create that detail around the lake. And you can see me clicking there and being like, oh, iron girders. Because that gives a pretty cool look to it that you normally don't see. And then we see the wooden coaster there, and we got the backstage here with some buildings. Now, one thing I would suggest here is don't use pathing unless if you've got, I guess maybe you've got, I'm looking to see, and you didn't use tarmac at all. So what I would do next time I'm creating a park is I would use tarmac as one of your loadouts and just have that area back there painted as tarmac, so then you don't have to use up your percentage using the pathing system. Because using these paths probably takes up like 1, maybe 2% on the counter on the PS4. But I do like how you've got for this train stationary, you've got kind of this backup rail to where it's almost got like a maintenance area for it. So that's really cool. And yeah, those barn doors, I think I need to use those. And I like that barn you created there. So now trying to head back to where we were at, which apparently I'm getting lost. And so now we're back in flip cam mode as we're moving on to the next area of the park. There's just a lot of really good detail here, like having the detail of the water going onto the flowers like that. And then we now have kind of a new section of the park, so we've got different colors, different kind of themes. I love the color of the cosmic cow there. And so you've got different building styles and colors, but they're all kind of merged together well. We got a saloon. We got King Coaster. I think that's what the mascot's name is. And this is a really cool skin for a flat ride here. It's called a boiler house, which makes sense, and it's really well done with just the scenery around it and how you built, where it obviously looks like a boiler house. So really cool, really well done. Now we have this, I think this is a launch coaster called Thunderbolt. So nice colors, that's really cool colors for the coaster. Now the only thing I'd suggest here, and it's kind of a pet peeve of mine, is if you're going to have the cattle pen queue like that, I like placing flooring tiles down so you don't see any of the grass in between and making it kind of like its own separate kind of building that it's in. And here's the coaster, so I'll talk to you guys afterwards. All right, so there's Thunderbolt. I think the emblem is really well done. Those custom supports are awesome, and I love the layout. I love the fact that it kind of goes up on that hill and dives back down, and then you've got the emblem. I think some areas need more smoothing, but I think other than that, I think the layout's phenomenal. Really, really enjoyed that coaster, and like I said, custom support's really well done. Just kind of, I think it was really the beginning to middle of it. Just smoothing it out, having another one or two passes smoothing, but really good job. And it really has such a small footprint for the type of ride that it is and being a launched ride, so that's really cool. All right, so as we're heading back to the station here, nice station. You're using a lot of different building pieces there. You got kind of the wooden fencing, and then you've got the diner pieces, it looks like, and then obviously the cement pieces, and then we got some wood batten material on the left side. So as we're kind of getting an overview now at night, just before I forget, because I always seem to forget to look at parks at night. Could be because I'm never in a theme park at night, so I just don't think about it. But really, everything's really lit up well, and then using the spotlights to really highlight the areas you want to be highlighted and stuff, so really good job. So now we're moving on to the next coaster, and what looks to be the biggest coaster in the park. And nice fencing going around the edge, kind of as a protection fence. Even though you're not lining it up perfectly with a pathway, that's fine. You see this at theme parks a lot, where they don't necessarily have the curbs, like the actual fencing line up with the curbs and stuff. So this is another really, really cool flat ride station. And oh, I got stuck on top. This happens way too much when in flip cam mode, but we get a chance to get a good zoom in look at the station there for the other coaster, which looks awesome. So I think what's impressed me the most in this park, other than like the overall kind of, I don't know how I got down from there, other than the overall like design and thought behind it, is the station buildings and the buildings for the flat rides are really, really cool and really well done. And that's a nice little kind of gaming station there. So this is called Gold Rush. And it kind of gives me vibes of like, even though I haven't been here, just seeing pictures of it, what was it, Twisted, or Tennessee Tornado, or like the Mystery Mine ride, where you're using a lot of like wooden panel pieces or wooden plank pieces to kind of make it look a little bit more old and rustic. And then I like the fact how the queue comes up here and then it's on the, like, actually on ground again. So you've really, really utilized in the elevation change as well. And as I said, this station is so cool. So cool. Absolutely love it. And you've got beams going across to support it. The color scheme's really good. You've got your bins over there, or your shelves to hold people's things. And then your custom walkway right there. Yeah, this is definitely, in terms of what the game designs it to be, this is definitely an Intamin coaster because it's got cable lift. So it'd be really cool to see an Intamin hyper coaster at some point that does have an inversion, kind of like Mac's doing. Alright, so that's my favorite coaster so far. Layout's phenomenal. It's got interaction with the other coaster, kind of with the path a little bit. And, I mean, look at the detailing right there on those. Using those, it looks like probably the veranda roof tiles or something. And this first drop is not what you traditionally would see off a coaster this size because it's not that steep of a drop, but it's got a nice kind of turn to it. And just really, gosh, this was really, really well done. So it looks like it almost gets some inspiration from those Intamin Mega Light coasters as well. And then this Immelman right here is really awesome. Actually, you know what? Does it not go... Oh, you know what? I was wrong. Technically, that doesn't go upside down. Yeah. I don't know why I was confused thinking it was. But yeah, really, really good job. And I was totally wrong about that. Yeah, it definitely feels like an Intamin style with how it's pretty low to the ground after that first drop. And a lot of smaller kind of speed hills and turns. So absolutely, really, really love that coaster. And that's honestly, that's one of my favorite stations I've seen in a while in the game. Really detailed, really good. So now we're going to be heading towards the last coaster, which looks like we've got another flat ride as well. And it's called Cactus something, but done a really good job with all the signs in this park as well. And now we got Barnstormer, which, you know, I need to use those signs more. I always forget about those. Because the lettering is really nice, and then you can just place them into walls and stuff too. My cat's going crazy. So now we got a wooden coaster. I believe it's GCI after the first drop, or maybe it's just, you know, kind of not necessarily one of the bigger companies because it doesn't have a lot of twists and turns afterwards. But this station, once again, is really cool. I think a couple of the beams just need to go further across. But really cool is it's made to look like a barn, obviously. Alright, so everybody's thoughts, which, sorry, I just clapped there. Didn't even mean to do that, so I forget the mic would pick that up. But what's everybody's thoughts on this? What's your favorite coaster? I think this one is phenomenal. I think it's probably not I don't know what company it would be, because I'm not as knowledgeable with the wooden coasters, but really, really good job. And I like how this first drop, you kind of banking left a little bit as you start dropping, and then you slightly bank right as you start to go down, or and turn right. So really, really good job. And then the hills are just phenomenal. Like this, to me, I don't think there's really too much of a question. I think that's the best coaster in the park. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you think's the best coaster? And then going through the barn right here is just so well done. Yeah, it keeps up a good speed throughout as well. So really, really good job. It looks like we got a little transfer track there. So on your next park, would love to see a little more detail in that area. But that's really, really good job to implement that. And look at those custom supports. That is awesome. Yeah, so really, really good job. Really enjoyed this park. And I love the kind of idea and thought behind it as well. So now we just got a couple more buildings to see that we didn't see earlier. Once again, using the kind of boiler stuff. Oh, you got the pipes going across as well. Really good detail. And so there's a lot of different building styles here, but they've all kind of really blended together and fit, in my opinion. So now we're getting a little bit of a view at nighttime, what it's like to walk around as a guest at night. And as I said before, everything's really well lit up. I mean, those spooky lights give really good lighting. So those are always really cool to see and really good to use. Alright, so now we're heading back towards the main entrance to the park, and we got just a couple more minutes left. I think we're going to take a ride on the Sky Ride, but now as we're kind of once again seeing some of the night lighting, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback on this park. As I said, this is the second park by this creator that I've checked out, so make sure to go check out the other park as well, because it's a different style in this one. It's more of a traditional theme park, but they're both really excellent. And just the views here, I mean, my goodness, this is beautiful. And you can just see the theme park in the background. Wow, so well done. So I'd love to know, Tom, what are you working on next? What's your next plan? Or what's the plan for your next park? Because I'm really excited to see what that looks like. So to end this video, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, as it really means a lot, just the constant support that is shown. So make sure to hit the like button and hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, because hey, you know it's free. You can unsubscribe at any time too. So thank you so much for watching and for your support, and I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the day.